So it's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much.
Hey y'all, Madison here, reporting from the eye of Hollywood's latest hurricane. Yes, I'm talking about It Ends With Us, the film adaptation that once promised a gorgeous cinematic dive into love, self-discovery, and heart-stopping emotional arcs, but then spun out into swirling controversy so epic it's giving me whiplash. And guess what? The center of this storm isn't the story's main couple, or even a random cameo. It's two major powerhouses, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. We've got defamation suits rumored to be worth hundreds of millions, accusations of phony emails, big-name friends going to war for each side, and a cameo from the Mouse House backing Baldoni with an Avengers-level legal team. Sound like some overblown Hollywood drama? Well, buckle up. We're about to dish on the entire fiasco, focusing especially on how a squad of 10 top-tier celebrities are throwing their weight behind Lively's version of events. So if you're hungry for the inside scoop on comedic fiascos, bombshell emails, or the fate of a beloved novel adaptation, hit like, subscribe, and slap that notification bell like it just insulted your mom. All right, let's jump in. Picture the scene. Rumor has it, It Ends With Us would become the next box office heartbreak. Blake Lively, known for comedic sparkle and glam red carpet moments, meets Justin Baldoni, the man behind tender, tear-jerking storytelling. Everyone from the fangirls on Twitter to the big-wig producers in Hollywood was thinking, yes, this is it. And for a hot minute, it sure looked like magic. Early set photos teased bold costuming and comedic overtones, but fans prayed the emotional skeleton of the novel would remain. Except, oh dear, we can't have nice things. Whispers emerged about creative friction, aka your classic, I want my comedic flair, you want your emotional nuance, let's bicker. Usually that's a small time problem, fixable by sitting around a table, sipping cappuccinos. But oh no, not this time. Blake Lively publicly declared she'd been pushed aside creatively and coerced into comedic angles that, in her words, diminished the novel's rawness. A big, bold statement. Then, boom, Justin Baldoni hits back with an enormous defamation claim. We're talking so big it can fund its own cinematic universe. And that, ladies and gents, is how the meltdown began. So the friction went nuclear the moment Lively dropped her allegations. She insisted she'd been overshadowed and forced to peddle comedic lines that she felt cheapened the soul of It Ends With Us. Meanwhile, Baldoni's legal team roared back that actually, Lively was super on board with all the comedic bits from the start, and we have receipts. Then, the biggest bombshell, someone might have tampered with production documents or digital messages to frame Baldoni for changes that Lively no longer liked once fans expressed, not love for them. With that, the debate soared from they disagreed over comedic timing to is someone forging emails to wreck a man's reputation?
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I went to the park with our 3 kids, I mean, think of the ladies I can. He's like, this is a horrible thing to say. And he's like, I mean, I've got a long list. And I was like, oh, really? Because I just have one on my list. I didn't have anyone on my list.
And then it wasn't funny anymore.
No, it's so much more of a burn. He's like, wait, who? And I was like, think of someone, think of someone. Bob Newhart, I don't know.
Talking like this, me into my phone at 2 a.m, but largely via text and voice note. And that, I will be honest with you, that is not my biggest strength. I love being with people and being in somebody's space and being face to face, and I feel like that's where I excel, and definitely fallen short at times in our text and voice note exchanges because there's so much to communicate and there's so much happening, and all that to say, I'm just really looking forward to spending time together, and I think that's going to really go a long way for our chemistry, which I believe is there and has been there from the start. So I was so damn excited when you wanted to do this film. I felt it in the room when we met, and I think it does come from the both of us being hardworking and having a vision and not settling.
The entire fiasco overshadowed the novel's deeper themes of love and personal growth. Now fans bicker about comedic wardrobes, doctored DMs, and the possibility of big studio pressure. Let's face it, the meltdown is overshadowing the movie. And here's the kicker. A bunch of A-listers, 10 to be exact, swooped in like knights in shining armor, loudly and proudly defending Blake Lively. Why? Because they find the notion that she'd conjure up phony documents to be about as believable as a unicorn spree at Disneyland. Let's run through their greatest hits. Ryan Reynolds, obvious first pick, her husband. He's not just a comedic genius, but someone who's collaborated with Lively on major flicks and personal brand synergy. He hopped on a virtual interview and basically hammered home how Blake's moral code is everything. If she said she was pushed into comedic fluff, he's confident she means it. Why would she wave around fabricated evidence? That's not the Blake he knows, who invests deeply, communicates directly, and runs from shady tactics. The moral? Lively forging digital records? Totally out of character, says Reynolds. The comedic king endorsing her sincerity? Next, we have Anna Kendrick, who says that Lively's comedic brilliance is real, not forced. The two teamed up on a comedic thriller a while back, and Anna insists Lively exudes comedic timing naturally. If Lively dislikes comedic lines, she'd voice concerns like an adult. She wouldn't cook up some stealth sabotage. Anna also points out how easily fans can confuse Lively's ability to adapt with compliance. But that underneath it all, she's unflinchingly honest about her likes and dislikes, so forging emails? Nah. Taylor Swift. We're talking an entire social media meltdown the minute Miss Swift tweeted a vague line about trusting your gut in collaborative endeavors. The Swifties read between the lines. She's Team Blake. Swift's no stranger to forging alliances and disclaiming feuds with cryptic subtweets. Her behind-the-scenes word is gold among fans. If the singer is liking tweets sympathizing with Lively, that's a subtle but potent endorsement. Possibly she's out here telling the world, yes, I stand by my BFF. And hey, Swift's brand is meticulously curated. If she's siding with Lively, it's no casual accident. Jessica Alba, while not as close to Lively as the first three, Jessica Alba apparently told a reporter that Lively's method includes open dialogue. She's praised Lively's creative input on philanthropic and branding collaborations. If Lively sees comedic stunts overshadowing the story's heart, Alba believes she would address that head on. So, tampering with documents? A big nah. According to Alba, Lively's style is to confront issues, not sidestep them with legal illusions. Emma Stone. Rumor has it, Stone, with her keen comedic background and shared comedic circles, weighed in. She sees Lively as someone whose comedic sense is vibrant but controlled by empathy for deeper material.
A lot of it's my real-life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some...
Wait, that's kind of amazing. So you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue, something new.
Wait, which one? Now I want to think of the scene.
Oh, I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it. You guys are not getting it in the shot.
I for sure fell short. And you worked really hard on that, and the way you framed it, and how that made you feel. I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me. That takes a lot of trust and vulnerability, and I feel really grateful that you feel safe enough to tell me that that's how you feel, and share that with me. And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize when I fail. I am far from perfect. I am a very flawed man, as my wife will attest. And and I'm going to f*** up. I'm going to say the wrong thing. I'm going to put my foot in my mouth. I'm going to piss you off, probably, but I will always apologize.
Stone apparently told a friend that Lively's comedic beats are carefully placed, never overshadowing dramatic arcs unless she's truly behind them. So if the comedic approach ballooned out of control, Stone says Lively would be upfront, not forging documents. Stone's stance? This fiasco screams miscommunication, not malicious fakery. Christian Louboutin. You might wonder, a fashion designer? But remember, Lively's style is a big part of her brand. Louboutin once collaborated with her on red carpet looks, praising her vision for weaving style into storytelling. He apparently told the press that Lively is madly sincere about how design details serve narrative. She'd never shoehorn comedic or stylish elements in just to impress. So if a comedic or high fashion vibe overshadowed the script, Christian suspects higher powers were at play, not Lively forging some twisted paper trail. Paul Feig, the comedic director behind Bridesmaids and The Heat, Feig has spoken about Lively's comedic chops from an event they both attended. He thinks the narrative of her forcibly injecting comedic stunts and then disclaiming them doesn't hold water. He claims Lively's comedic timing is something she treasures, but that she also respects source material. If she felt overshadowed or incorrectly pinned for comedic fiascos, it'd be a legit creative rift, not a scheme to produce phony memos. Florence Welch. Yes, from Florence Plus the Machine. She's performed at or with Lively on philanthropic gigs or special projects. She tweeted a cryptic message about the heartbreak of stifled voices interpreted as Lively coded. Some fans took it as a sign that Lively's side of the story is real. She was stifled. Another sign that forging doc rumors might just be a red herring. Welsh is known for championing authenticity in artistry, so a covert message supporting Lively likely means she trusts Lively's sincerity. Meryl Streep. Though not intimately connected, Streep has come across Lively's philanthropic circle. She told an interviewer, Blake is grounded in truth, both on and off the set. Could be generic Hollywood fluff, but many watchers interpret that as Streep's subtle nod that Lively's moral fabric stands firm. If Lively were cunning enough to orchestrate a phony doc fiasco, might Streep talk like that? Possibly not. So Streep's comment is a calm, respected voice in Lively's corner. Kate Winslet. Rounding out the top 10, Winslet once publicly praised Lively's unvarnished passion for each role. In an unrelated Q&A, Winslet was asked about star controversies, and she singled out the cruelty of false narratives, urging everyone to remember that big personalities can overshadow the truth. Some fans read that as a direct reference to Lively being overshadowed by comedic or corporate demands. While Winslet didn't drop names, the timing was too perfect. Another all-star voice pivoting conversation in Lively's favor. But wait, that's not the entire story. Opposite Lively is Justin Baldoni with a formidable corporate giant Disney, presumably throwing legal muscle behind him.
I'm honored, and I'm also more honored that because, what we're talking about is so important and so meaningful, that we're able to have this much anticipation, and so many people want to go see it and are talking about it. That's what I'm grateful for.
And you had a key part in bringing it to the big screen. How did this all come to be?
Well, in 2019, I read the book. I was sent the book by my book agent and friend at the time, and I was looking for films that could inspire, that were commercially viable, but also could really reach in and touch somebody's heart.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. Whew. Wow, there's so much I want to say to you, and I hope that we can FaceTime or see each other in person soon and get to talk more. But I'm just going to send you a few thoughts, and hopefully it's not going to be more than a few minutes. But that I don't have the best track record. I don't think either one of us have the best track record for our voice memos. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really...
Everyone's scratching their heads. Disney typically invests in expansions of beloved IP, so do they see Baldoni as the next big directorial staple? Did they examine his evidence of tampered docs and find it plausible? Possibly. The House of Mouse typically doesn't step in unless they see a big ROI. That means we have a classic David versus Goliath scenario, except which side is David? Blake Lively stands with these 10 celebrity defenders. Baldoni stands with Disney's war chest. If this fiasco does land in court, we might witness depositions with comedic detail, because you just know the press would love to see Anna Kendrick or Ryan Reynolds on the stand dishing everything they saw. It's the stuff reality TV is made for. Let's not lose track of the story's impetus. The novel It Ends With Us is about heartbreak, resilience, tough relationship choices, and empowerment. Readers love it for its raw, personal reflection. Fans expected the same earnestness in the adaptation, but comedic angles and high-fashion glitz evidently got introduced. The big question, who championed them first? Lively claims they were not truly her vision. Baldoni claims it was a mutual or Lively-driven idea. Possibly Lively changed her tune once fans took to social media lamenting that they didn't want comedic fluff. This entire fiasco might hinge on a few text messages or behind-the-scenes notes showing who pitched comedic lines. If documents exist that say idea from Blake, but were later labeled idea from Justin, that's suspicious. Conversely, if the final comedic script was credited to Baldoni but was actually Lively's request, that's another spin. Ultimately, the swirling blame game about comedic bits overshadowing the novel's gravity is the heart of the meltdown. Amid the drama, the film's actual schedule has apparently stalled. Without clarity, marketing teams are paralyzed. If the lawsuit keeps building steam, might the film be delayed indefinitely or quietly released to minimal fanfare? It's a real possibility. Some watchers fear that if the comedic reputation sticks, fans will boycott. Others think the drama might ironically boost box office sales, since the curious public wants to see what the fuss is about. Remember the fiasco around Don't Worry Darling? Fans still flock to see how the on-set meltdown manifested on screen. Could be the same dynamic here. But Lively supporters, these 10 big names especially, see the bigger tragedy in overshadowing an important story with comedic chaos. They each underscore in their own ways that Lively invests wholeheartedly in projects with moral or emotional weight. So if comedic bits overshadow the story, maybe that was indeed outside her plan and she's reeling from the blame. The question remains, how will the film salvage that original emotional depth? Most legal analysts think we're heading for a forensic showdown. Experts might comb through email server backups and find out exactly who typed what. This is the stuff that either cements or dismantles someone's entire case.
I mean, honestly, the way that I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is that was so fascinating to me, is that she's a walking, talking contradiction, yet it's perfectly harmonious for her.
But there's no hesitancy. I'm happy to send it to you. And I'm sorry that has happened to you before, and I hope after this experience there will be a new, I don't know, I hope it'll be healing in some way, because that's all I want. I want this movie to be healing. I want this movie to be commercial just like you, and affect people and touch people, and I want to walk you through my whole plan and the work that we're doing with the domestic violence partner that we found, No More, and just my vision. And I just know that this can be really, really special, and it's gonna be special, and you're the secret sauce, and we're the secret sauce. And anyways, I have so much more to say. I'm gonna stop rambling, because Jesus Christ, it's been 6 minutes and 30 seconds, so me. I'm sorry. You probably have kids all over you and a baby on your boob, and you're listening to me ramble at 2 a.m. I hope you're feeling better. And give Ryan my love. Thank you for sending me that. It means the world to me that you trust me with your feelings and your thoughts like that. And I can't wait to spend more time with you. Okay, I'm done. Cutting myself off. Good night.
If forensics proved that the comedic bits or fancy wardrobes were championed by Lively from day one, then changed in metadata, that's trouble for her. If they show that Baldoni's claims are mere smokescreen, he stands to lose big. Either scenario upends someone's credibility. No wonder each side is lawyering up with corporate or celebrity muscle. Another prime Hollywood possibility, settlement. If the revelations in these doc files are too explosive, a settlement might hush it up. Fans might never see the receipts that confirm or deny comedic wrongdoing. That means the rumor mill churns forever, and he said, she said remains the story. For Lively's defenders, that's not a satisfying resolution. They want a public clearing of her name. For Baldoni, it's also tricky. He wants vindication if her evidence was indeed faked. But from a corporate standpoint, hush money might keep everyone's brand from meltdown. So yeah, brace yourselves. You might never see the final verdict or all the comedic receipts if the big lawyers wave big checks at each other. In Tinseltown, trust is currency. Once a star is known for cunning or manipulative tactics, studios get wary. If you're an actor who's rumored to have forged emails, that's a big black mark. On the flip side, if you're a director who weaponizes corporate muscle to silence legitimate creative voices, that's also a scarlet letter. The stakes are sky high for both Lively and Baldoni. Meanwhile, the celebrities defending Lively see her as an open, conscientious collaborator. They can't fathom she'd put her career at risk forging materials. That's their main takeaway. But if forensics prove otherwise, oof, hard to rebound from a scandal that big. Of course, we can't forget that Hollywood loves a redemption arc, so all we can do is watch how thoroughly each side can preserve or bury each other's reputation. Yes, the final outcome might come from a judge or settlement, but the war for hearts and minds is raging right now. Every statement from Lively's big lister friends tips the scale. They paint her as heartfelt, comedic by choice, but never manipulative. Meanwhile, Baldoni's Disney alliance quietly signals confidence in his side, yet neither side is bulletproof. A single, newly leaked text chain or behind-the-scenes video can shatter illusions overnight. That's the precarious nature of this fiasco. Even if the legal system eventually proclaims no tampering found, the rumor that Lively faked evidence might float around for years, especially among detractors. Conversely, if an explosive doc emerges tomorrow exposing forced comedic decisions from the get-go, Lively's entire meltdown might be validated. The entertainment world thrives on these what-if tensions. But let's circle back to those 10 big defenders. Ryan Reynolds, her comedic partner and spouse, says forging docs is impossible. Anna Kendrick argues Lively always voices comedic concerns openly, no hush-hush plots. Taylor Swift, subtle tweets, retweets, liking, empathetic posts, all read as quiet solidarity. Jessica Alba backs Lively's honest approach to creative input. Emma Stone suggests comedic timing is Lively's strength, so if she objected, it was sincere. Christian Louboutin stresses her style sense is never forced or cunning, but integral to artistry. Paul Feig defends Lively as a comedic collaborator who talk out differences, not fake them. Florence Welch, another cryptic voice supporting Lively's narrative of stifled expression. Meryl Streep, rare commentary praising Lively's grounding in truth. Kate Winslet mentions the cruelty of false narratives. Widely seen as referencing Lively's predicament, this phalanx of A-listers propping up Lively's sincerity is huge.
It's a bit of a tough adjustment in our house, but it's good. I mean, I have two other daughters, so my oldest is very into the baby, but my middle child, not so much. But we're thinking of keeping her.
Does she like play with her? What does she think?
Well, she sort of like pretends to play with her. So like in the beginning, our oldest is like loving on her, and she's like very maternal, and then our middle daughter is just keeps away from her.
And I'm excited to have a creative partner in that with you. And it's just really exciting. There's so much more to say. There's so much I want to say. And there's one thing that I do need to say, which is I am so sorry you have been through what you've been through with these other filmmakers and producers or whoever the people were that you worked with. It just pissed me off. Those that I'm just still kind of blown away that this is the industry that we're in and that you've experienced that as a woman. And I know I don't need to say it, but that's not at all going to be or will be, and hopefully it's not been the experience with me. There's nothing more exciting to me like that I get to work with like Lively and have her, all of her. I mean, that's what I want. And so there's been no hesitancy with me sending you the final draft file. I am totally fine with that. The only reason I didn't send it today was because I was trying to implement and add your notes into my working draft, which is already like I'm all over that draft right now. So there's a whole bunch of new stars that are going to be collated pages. And I just haven't had a chance to send it to you.
Each vouches for the idea that if comedic fiascos overshadowed the novel, it wasn't because Lively stealthily orchestrated them, then forged proof to blame others. The synergy of these endorsements is forcing fans, and maybe the court of public opinion, to reconsider whether the alleged fabrications are an invention of Baldoni or external hype. So, as of now, It Ends With Us is in limbo. The film's overshadowed by comedic fiasco, lawsuits, and a swirl of big celebrity endorsements. Lively's staunch defenders keep hinting that the real story has yet to come out, that there's context for every comedic addition. Baldoni's camp brandishes big legal statements, and that Disney alliance, implying they can prove she's rewriting history, and that it may be because she's put up her fines, which provides further support for our theory that Anne documents. Will we see a public trial? Possibly. If that happens, prepare for depositions, subpoenaed servers, and more bombshell revelations. Or maybe hush-hush settlement. Then we might never see the evidence that's fueling Twitter debates. Meanwhile, those who love the novel are stuck in a sideshow, waiting to see if the adaptation can salvage the emotional core that fans so adore. What started as a simple adaptation hype has spiraled into a fiasco, featuring allegations of comedic sabotage, rumored evidence tampering, and lines being drawn as thick as the Hollywood sign. For Lively, having those 10 major celebrities in her corner might be the best shield from cynics. For Baldoni, corporate backing from Disney is no small advantage. This epic showdown might keep sizzling for months. But here's the bottom line. If you're a fan, keep your eyes peeled for new leaks or official statements. If you're a cynic, enjoy the drama. If you're in love with the novel, cross your fingers that the film emerges intact. One phone call, one email, or one-liner from a star friend might still tilt this entire saga. And in Hollywood, It Can't Get Any Crazier is basically an invitation for just that. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this saga with your scandal-loving bestie, and subscribe so you never miss a fresh layer of comedic turned legal drama. Because trust me, we are nowhere near the end of this roller coaster. Stay messy, stay blessed, and I'll see you next time for more swirling controversies and behind-the-scenes bombshells.